If you've ever wondered why silver keeps acting like a secret market, here's the truth. Something huge is happening behind the scenes, and it's not just another price move. A $500 billion crisis is quietly unfolding, and the real reason COMEX is collapsing is not what the mainstream media wants you to believe. Right now, paper silver is breaking under pressure, while physical silver is quietly vanishing. And the moment this gap becomes obvious, the whole system could snap. Today, I'm going to explain the real reason COMEX is collapsing, why it's tied to a massive $500 billion silver crisis, and what that means for anyone who owns or wants to own physical silver. This is Silver Reset, and if you stay with me for the next 11 minutes, you'll understand the truth behind the silver market in a way most people never do. Before we get into the details, I want to ask you to hit that like button and subscribe to Silver Reset if you're serious about understanding precious metals, because we're going to uncover things most people don't even know exist. Also, if you're watching this and you already own silver or are thinking about buying, comment below what you think the real reason is behind this crisis. Your comment might help someone else connect the dots. Now let's start with the simplest question. What is COMEX? Most people think it's just a place where futures contracts are traded, but COMEX is not the real market. COMEX is the stage where the world's biggest banks and financial players pretend they own silver, while the real metal stays somewhere else. Think of it like this. COMEX is a giant promissory note system. It's a place where paper claims on silver are traded, not actual silver bars. And right now, that system is cracking. The reason is simple, but the implications are massive. COMEX has been running on a mountain of paper promises for years, and those promises are now outnumbering the real metal by a dangerous amount. When you look at the actual physical supply of silver in the world, it's not nearly enough to back the amount of paper contracts floating around. This gap has been growing quietly, and now it's reached a point where it can't be ignored anymore. Here's where the $500 billion number comes in. That's the rough size of the hidden imbalance in the silver market, and it's not a guess. It's the kind of number you get when you compare total outstanding paper claims, total mine supply, and the real physical demand for silver, including industrial use and growing investor demand. The math is not complicated. The result is what matters. The result is a massive shortfall. When the world is short on physical silver, something has to give. And what usually gives first is trust. Because when the market is based on paper claims, trust is the only thing keeping it standing. People assume they can trade paper and settle later, but what if later never comes? What if the physical metal is simply not there when it's time to deliver? That's the real fear. And that fear is now becoming a reality. COMEX has always relied on a system called leasing and rehypothecation, where the same physical silver can be used to back multiple paper claims. It's a bit like using the same house as collateral for multiple loans. It works until it doesn't. And now, with global demand for physical silver surging, especially from countries like China and India, the system is under stress. The same physical silver that used to be freely available is now being held tightly by investors and governments. That means there's less metal available for the banks to borrow, lease, or reuse. The paper system is starting to run out of real metal to support it. And here's the part that most people miss. COMEX isn't just a market, it's also a signaling device. It tells the world what price silver should be based on futures trading. But if the futures market is being flooded with paper claims that are not backed by physical metal, then the price signal becomes fake. It becomes distorted. That's why silver can stay low on paper, while physical silver becomes harder to find and more expensive in real life. So why is COMEX collapsing now? Because the system is reaching its breaking point. It's not a sudden collapse like a door slamming shut. It's a slow, grinding failure where the paper market starts to lose credibility. And when credibility is lost, the whole structure becomes unstable. People stop trusting that paper claims can be redeemed for physical metal. And once that trust disappears, the market changes overnight. Now let's talk about the real trigger, the growing demand for physical silver. In the last few years, demand for physical silver has been rising dramatically. People are buying silver coins, bars, and ETFs at levels we haven't seen in decades. And while the world's production of silver is relatively steady, the demand is not. Industrial use is growing, especially in electronics and solar panels, and investment demand is exploding. That means the available physical silver supply is shrinking fast. Meanwhile, the paper market continues to create new contracts like it's infinite. The banks and financial institutions keep issuing more and more paper claims. They do this because it's profitable, and because the system has allowed it for years. But now, the real world is catching up. The physical market is beginning to say, we don't have enough silver to satisfy all these promises. And that is when the crisis becomes visible. Another major factor is the role of global players who are quietly accumulating physical silver. Countries like China have been aggressively buying silver and building stockpiles. Some of this is for industrial use and some of it is strategic. But the effect is the same. Physical silver is being removed from the global supply chain. And when a major country starts hoarding physical metal, the global market feels the squeeze. COMEX, being the paper market, can't hide this forever. At the same time, the financial system is under stress in ways that most people don't see. Banks are struggling with hidden losses and risky positions. When the system is fragile, it tends to use paper markets like COMEX to hide risk. That's why the paper market can look calm, even when the real world is not. But when the physical market starts to pull away, the paper market has nowhere to hide. Now, let's address the most important question. What happens when COMEX collapses? In a collapse, the price of silver on paper might initially spike or crash, depending on how the market reacts. But the real story is what happens to physical silver. When the paper market loses credibility, investors rush to own real metal. That creates a physical shortage, and shortages drive price higher, fast. And because physical silver cannot be created instantly, the price can move violently. This is where many people get confused. They think the price on COMEX is the price of silver, but it isn't. The price on COMEX is the price of paper contracts. The real price is what people are willing to pay for actual silver bars and coins. And right now, those two prices are drifting apart. That gap is the hidden crisis. And when the gap becomes too wide, it forces a reset. A reset means a new reality. It means the market stops pretending that paper claims are the same as physical metal. It means investors begin to understand that owning physical silver is the only way to guarantee you actually have silver. And it means that the system will have to adjust to the truth. There is not enough physical silver to satisfy the paper market. Now, I know some of you are thinking, if this is happening, why hasn't the price already exploded? That's a great question. The answer is that the system is still being propped up by powerful institutions. They have tools to manage price, to control sentiment, and to suppress spikes. They can also create short-term stability by injecting liquidity or by manipulating futures. But those tools are not unlimited. They only work as long as the physical market doesn't break away. And that's what's happening now. The physical market is breaking away. The demand for real silver is growing faster than ever, while the paper market continues to expand. The system is like a balloon being inflated with more and more air, but the balloon is already weak. Eventually, it will burst. And when it bursts, the consequences will be real. The moment of truth will likely come when delivery failures become public. When people try to take delivery of physical silver and find it is not available, confidence will collapse. COMEX may try to delay, but delays are not solutions. Delays are just a way of buying time. And when time runs out, the market will force a new reality. Another important point is that the crisis is not only about price. It's about trust, credibility, and control. COMEX is a controlled environment. It is designed to allow big players to manage markets, but it is not designed to handle a real physical shortage. When the system is tested by real scarcity, it will show its weaknesses. That is why the real reason COMEX is collapsing is not just about silver. It's about the entire financial system relying on paper promises instead of real assets. Silver is the perfect example because it has a long history as money and store of value. It's a physical asset that cannot be created by printing. And when a system tries to base itself on paper claims instead of real assets, it becomes unstable. So what should you do with this information? First, understand that this is not fear-based. This is a reality-based view of how markets work. The market is showing us the truth. Physical silver is becoming scarce. Paper silver is becoming risky. And the system is being forced to reveal itself. Second, if you want to protect yourself, consider owning physical silver. Not just paper, not just ETFs, real coins and bars. Because when the reset happens, physical silver will be the only guarantee you actually own silver. And if you already own physical silver, now is the time to make sure it is secure and stored in a safe way. Third, keep watching the signs. Look for delivery issues, rising premiums on physical silver, and increasing demand from global markets. Those are the signals that the system is shifting. And when the shift happens, it happens fast. Now, I want to make one thing clear. This is not a prediction meant to scare you. This is a warning meant to prepare you. The silver market has always been controlled by large institutions, but the physical world does not follow their rules. Physical supply and demand always win in the end. And when the gap between paper and physical becomes too large, the market resets. If you found this video helpful, please comment below with your thoughts on the $500 billion silver crisis. Do you think COMEX can survive, or is a reset inevitable? Also share this video with someone who needs to understand the real silver story, because this is not just about money, it's about the future of the financial system. And if you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe to Silver Reset, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss future updates. Your support helps this channel continue to bring you deep research and real market insights. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned because the Silver Reset is already happening, and the next move could change everything.